Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Standard test method for ductility of bituminous material. And this is me, engineer Irfanullah. So scope of the test. First of all, designation is we will study this test according to the ASTM D113-07. D113 is the code and 07 show the year at which the document is revised. This test method describes the procedure for determination of the ductility of bituminous material measured by the distance to which it will elongate before breaking. So first of all, it says that it gives the ductility, that how a sample of bituminous material is ductile, and in the second step it shows that at which method it will find the ductility. So it will find just the elongation and will measure the distance before breaking. So when two ends of briquette is the sample. Briquette specimens are pulled apart at a specified speed and at a specified temperature. So we will later tell you that what is the specific temperature and all other conditions for the test. So when we pull apart the two ends of a specimens at a specified conditions, so then unless otherwise specified, the test shall be made at a temperature of 25 degrees centigrade plus minus 0.5 degrees centigrade and with a speed of 5 centimeter per minute, mean 50 millimeters per minute plus minus 5% of this 50. So at other temperatures, the speed should be specified. If you want to perform test on the any other temperature than 25 degrees centigrade, so then you should be specified in accordingly. Significance shortly. Significance is that it gives the tensile properties of the bituminous material, like how tensile our material is and whether this tensile material is favorable to the specified conditions or not. So it may be used to measure ductility for specification requirements. Means when we construct a road in certain area, we are given specification that much ductile material should be used in this area by the designer or by the mix design engineers. So apparatus that should be used during the tests, first of all, most importantly is the mold. You can see in the mold that this will be filled with the specimens of bituminous material. So the mold should be similar in design to the shown in the figure. So the mold should be made of brass. So this is brass. So it will be 10.0 millimeter plus minus 0.1 millimeter in thickness, means the depth or the height of the mold is called thickness, which will be equal to 10 millimeter. So with a brass base plate that is larger than the assembled mold. So this is also made of brass. So it should be larger or wider than the mold so that the mold can be easily fit on this base plate. So this is also the more detail of the mold. So you can see that this distance is called A. So here A is the distance between centers of the mold, which is round about 112 millimeter. So the distance of the sample to be poured in this mold is equal to B, so which is the total length of briquette, which is around about 75 millimeters. So all the details is per ASTM standard D113. So this type of mold should be used. The second important apparatus used in this ductility test is water bath for conditioning specimens. So before testing, the specimen should be at the required temperature. So for that purpose, the water bath is used. So water bath capable of maintaining the specified temperature, which is 25 degrees centigrade, varying not more than 0.5 degrees centigrade from the set temperature. So the specimen should be immersed and supported such that it is surrounded by water. So it should not be like you place it on the bottom, so the sample is not surrounded from all sides. So it should be set like here in the middle of the water bath. Testing machine, you can see in the picture, this is testing machine. So the samples are set here for pulling the briquette of bituminous material apart, and any apparatus may be used which is so constructed that the specimen will be continuously immersed in water. So there will be some waters of the temperature required in the sample will be inside the water during the test. While the two clips are pulled apart at a uniform speed is specified. So before breaking, the elongation is measured, and this will be the ductility of the bitumen. So when you want to measure the temperature, you require thermometer. A thermometer having the range is shown below are conforming to the requirements. So most importantly, it is 63C. ASTM number thermometer is required, which will be capable to measure from -8 to 32 degrees centigrade. So we need 25 degrees centigrade, so that is in the range. Release agent. This is most important for the safety. So mixtures such as glycerin and dextrine and all other type of release agent may also be used, and mineral oil used to coat the bitumens in sides of mold to prevent the specimen from sticking to the mold. So when you want to use the mold again, you will feel easily when you want to remove the old specimen. So this release agent should be used for that purpose. Oven, most important. So in oven like this will be required for maintaining a temperature. So in oven capable of maintaining temperature within ±5 degrees centigrade of the temperature required. So why this temperature is required? To heat the sample, so it is just fluid enough to pour. When you buy a bituminous sample in the market, it will not be pourable into the mold. So for that purpose, you will not heat it, but you will keep it in the oven like this. Trimming tool, a straight edge knife or spatula required for trimming. Trimming will be required, you will see in the procedure. So sieve, 300 micrometer or sieve number 50 will be required conditionally. So this is the procedure. First of all, assemble a mold on a brass plate, coat the surface of the plate, and second, the plate upon which the mold is placed should be flat and level. Means normally if you work on a table, so it will be level, hopefully. Carefully heat the sample, heat or put place in the oven to prevent local overheating until it has become sufficiently fluid to pour. So for that purpose, we will use oven, which is more professional than heating. After a thorough stirring, pour it into the mold. Pour the material in a thin stream back and forth from end to end of the mold until the mold is more than the level full. So आपको थोड़ा सा उसके लेवल से ऊपर तक फिल करना होगा. Number 6, allow the fill mold to cool to room temperature for 35 ±5 minutes. So you will allow it to cool in because you have heated it. So you can allow it for 35 minutes according to ASTM. So it will be cooled as room temperature. Then place it in the water bath at a test temperature for 35 ±5 minutes. When you place it in the water bath, you have set the temperature of the water bath is the test temperature, means 25 degree. So when you put the specimen for 35 minutes, so it will gain the temperature is 25 degree. Then remove the test specimen from the water bath and immediately trim the excess material with the spatula, with the trimming tool, to make the mold just level full. So at this stage you make it full. So place the trim specimen and mold in the water bath at the specified temperature for 90 plus minus 5 minutes. Then again place it in the water bath. So remove the specimen from the plate by shearing action between specimen and plate. So then you remove the specimen from the plate which is below the mold, and then remove the side pieces. There are two pieces which are at the ends and at the sides. So it says that remove the side pieces. Be careful not to distort fracture the specimens. So you have carefully remove the side pieces and be careful to not distort or fracture the specimen. So then start your testing in the testing machine. Attach the rings at each end of the clips to the pins or hooks in the testing machine. Then pull the two clips apart at a uniform speed. So this is done by the machine itself, as specified, until the specimen rupture or reach the length limitation of the testing machine. So the two clips are pulled apart with a 50 mm per minute, and the specimen of the bituminous material will be elongated, and you will find the length just before breaking the specimen. Measure the distance in centimeters through which the clips have been pulled to produce structure. So as I said before. So there are some precautions, means be careful to do this. A normal test is one in which material rupture near the center of the specimen. Means psychologically a specimen should be ruptured at the middle, means at the center of the specimen. This will be a normal test. So reaches the length limitation of the testing machine, or in other words, test have certain limitation. Beyond that, it cannot be pulled apart. So it may be reached to the testing limitation of the testing machines. So you should report as that it reached the limitation of the test machine. So a rupture occurring at the either clip should not be considered normal. So if the rupture in the bituminous material occur at the ends, so it will not be normal test. If the bituminous material comes in contact with the surface of the water or the bottom of the bath, the test shall not be considered normal. So as I said before, during the test, the specimen should be in the middle of the water, and the water is set to the required temperature. If by chance during the test the specimen is distorted such that it reaches to the bottom of the bath or reaches to the top above the water surface, so the test is not be considered normal. And how to report means the test. So report a normal test is the ductility of the sample. If rupture does not occur due to the length limitation of the testing machine, report ductility is the length limitation in centimeters. Means if your test machine limit is 150 centimeter and you pulled the sample to 150 centimeter but it did not break, so you will report that 150 centimeter plus and the rupture does not occur. If this testing is performed on less than 3 replicates of the same samples due to insufficient material, include the number of replicates used in the test reports. Number 4, report the average of 3 normal tests is the ductility of the samples. If you have 3 samples, normally there are places of 3 samples to test at the same time. So if you take 3 samples and test it, it gives different point of rupture. So the average of those 3 normal tests should be reported is the ductility of the bituminous material. Thank you. See you in the next lecture.